I don't often look at this side of the tank very much. It's in between two 10 gallons. But you can see that the vertical heater is working fine with the end stuck in a glass a little bit larger than a shot glass so that it'll fit nicely there, and the tip of the heater is not stuck into the substrate, which would damage the heater. But I keep the heater in the vertical position because I've heard it reported that Betta splendens can sometimes try and rest on a heater, and this can of course burn the fish. I'm not sure why they don't have an alarm system that alerts them before getting burned, but I have heard of Betta injuring themselves in this fashion, so ever since learning that from Chris of Fish for Thought years ago, I make it a point to put the heater in my Betta splendens tank in the vertical position. Here's another angle I don't often share of my 10-gallon Betta splendens aquascape. You can see that the Dwarf Sagittaria are doing quite well. I came to know the name of the clover-looking plant that I placed with the Dwarf Sagittaria in the foreground. This is commonly known as dwarf pennywort. The species is Hydrocaudal Sibthorpioides. Some say that a Betta splendens, if kept alone in a tank, can get lonesome. I haven't found this to be the case at all. My female Betta splendens, well, she often spars with the reflection in the black backdrop of the tank. Not too bad because it's not highly reflexive. But whenever she sees me, she's keen to rush to the front of the tank and beg at the front glass. But I'm careful not to overfeed her. I don't want her to develop a fatty liver. Years ago, I had a male Betta splendens alone in a 10-gallon, and I thought he might be lonely, so I added some female guppies to the tank, just 3 or 4 of them. But I soon found that that was a mistake because although there wasn't any aggression between the species, the guppies always grabbed all the food before the slow Betta splendens could get to it. So after a few days, I removed the guppies and just kept the male by himself. I have heard some people have success with shrimp in a Betta splendens tank, but this can also be dangerous for the shrimp. Even shrimp that are too large for the Betta to consume, sometimes a Betta will attack them and perhaps bite the heads or legs off of them. So there are little predators and they're insectivores, so keeping something like a shrimp with them, I think, would be a mistake. In a large, heavily planted tank, you may be able to keep more than one Betta splendens safely for some time. Now, people usually have more success with sorority tanks, all female Betta splendens, but with more than one male, only the experienced aquarist should attempt this. I have heard that some of the fancier, probably highly inbred male Betta splendens can be kept together more successfully than the wild type. But I wouldn't be willing to chance this myself. On the left side of the tank, I keep the thermometer and the Betta bed. which are usually out of sight with the little station identification shots that I shoot. The Betta bed. Well, it's a fake piece of plastic decor, and I thought it'd be quite out of place in this aquascape. But I have seen my Betta splendens use it, so I want to keep it available for her. It's on the far side of the tank from the hang on the back filter, so there's much less flow in that area, and she finds it an enjoyable place to rest.